Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another video. First thing I want to start off by saying is that this isn't an ad. It's not an ad for a new game. I'm not sponsored by them. But I just want to give an idea of what player versus enemy can look like for Modern Warfare 3's Zombies mode, or MWZ as we know it. Because there's rumors going around that there's either going to be a grief mode or some type of, like I said, player versus enemy. And so, with all being said, this is a new game that came to console about a week ago. It's been on Steam for maybe a year or so before that. So, it's kind of a new game, but not really. Like, if you're on PlayStation and console and you don't PC game or you're not on Steam, you wouldn't have known, like me, that this game existed. But it's made by a company which I forget. I think it's called like My Games or something like that. But it's also made on the Unreal Engine, which is, as you can tell, it looks like Fortnite. It's made by, the same engine that Fortnite creator Epic Games created, which is their Unreal Engine 4. So that's why the color and the way it looks like Fortnite. And it's a little bit similar to Battle Royale, but not really. Where you're looting, you're finding guns, you're finding supplies, and you're finding equipment. Now they have buy stations, so I'm gonna kind of relate it to how it would play out in Call of Duty, where you have buy stations like DMZ, and as you guys know, DMZ was Call of Duty's player versus enemy mode, but with zombies being more popular than DMZ was, you're gonna look for more ideas or maybe how to improve DMZ. Now people are gonna argue that DMZ was perfect, there was nothing wrong with it. The only thing I have to say with DMZ and maybe how it relates to this game called Hawked, which is funny because I didn't even mention the name yet. It's called Hawked, and like I said, it's on the Unreal Engine. Now, there's enemies, but and then there's players. The players, I believe, might still be AI, or they're just really terrible. It's a new game. Maybe people don't play too many shooters. Obviously, it's not going to have the player base as Fortnite and Call of Duty, which people are super sweaty in those games because those games have been around longer. They have the best players. You can probably get the most views. So the best players are going to play the best game. Now, again, with that being said, this game has players in it, and they're pretty easy to kill. I almost suspect some of them are even AI still. So you're probably getting player versus AI versus enemy, if you even want to call it that. You do get like one or two real players that potentially can kill you, because the object of the game, as you can see, you have to do puzzles to unlock treasure, unlock vaults, kind of the same thing like DMZ and Modern Warfare Z and Fortnite. So you're going around trying to find loot. Find the best loots are going to be in vaults. It's kind of mixed with Indiana Jones. It's all heavily influenced by Indiana Jones. If you haven't seen those movies from the 80s and 90s and even the 2000s, and then there was a new one like a couple of years ago. So it's basically you're like a Tomb Raider in a way, also kind of like I said, also within the whole Indiana Jones Temple of Doom vibe, but kind of like on a Fortnite island. So again, you don't. The reason I said this is probably gonna, or I'm thinking this is probably gonna be a good substitute inside of Modern Warfare Z is the fact that you do actually. It's easy. It's not terribly hard. I think that's the complaint I'm hearing from most of the zombie YouTubers that are scared that player versus enemy is coming to zombies, is that you can do something similar like this where nobody is terribly sweaty. Nobody's like really hard to kill. Maybe they can even still mix in some AI players, make it some easy AI players to kill. But this game has been really fun. Again, I'm mentioning it. I'm not sponsored by this. I just kind of love. I am a Fortnite affiliate or Fortnite, not partner, but whatever their creator code program that they have. And this is made with the Unreal Engine that owns Fortnite. So just to kind of clarify that, but none of this is sponsored. But I get bored very easily. I'm always looking for different games to play. and it's a huge map. The map is actually so huge that they actually uh, quarter it off, kind of like what they do in Resurgence and Warzone. Is you don't go to the entire map every single game. One game might be, you know, a third of the map, and the rest is closed off. The next game, like as you can see here, it's a huge map. I believe you can't go too far into the gray section. I think that's closed off unless it's like Fortnite, and it's gonna open up once you go to that area. It's gonna color in or fill in. I didn't go to it because I thought maybe it was just a part of the map that's closed off. They didn't want to make it too big. That way everybody's kind of together and you're more likely to run into each other to make it competitive. But as far as like the zombies part of it, there's like these alligator, lizard, alien type creatures that you kill. And that's what I really like about it too, is the fact that they have the loot boxes or the loot crates, or the ammo crates or the weapon crates protected. So if you want to get a weapon out of one of these crates, that one already open, you have to defeat like three little AI characters, or I guess it would be zombies. So I guess I'm thinking about not Fortnite, but zombies, MWZ, if they did something similar like that. Where um, is there any spots in Call of Duty that's protected by heavy? I know like the Dark Ether rifts and stuff like that. I know that those have the best schematics and loot and stuff like that when you go there, and it has the hardest enemies, really strong enemies. But you can see here, like this is, you can tell that was like an AI. So I think that would be like a great idea if like they did something like Grief, but like Grief was all humans in Black Ops 2. I think that was the last player versus enemy zombies mode that we had was Grief. But maybe they can put some AI characters in there and make it like not insanely hard to kill. Because I know there's AIs all over Call of Duty now. I know they don't promote it or let people know because people will flip out. But if you're playing Warzone or multiplayer and people just pop up behind you, that's why people are always saying that, oh, I didn't hear their footsteps. What's wrong with the audio? The audio is broken. It's not that the audio is broken. It's not that you didn't hear the footstep. It's just that they spawn enemies on you, AI characters. It's just that Call of Duty doesn't promote it because I think they did in the past and people flipped out. Because people are gonna always, bad players are always gonna try and pick something um, to blame why they lost. So I know that like um, or people might just turn off the game and say, hey, I don't want to play with AIs, and go play something else. Um, but it wouldn't be a terrible idea if they put AI players in it that are easy to kill, that isn't going to just wreck you from behind. Now, with that being said, I know that the way video game studios, publishers make money is they have to keep you on the game to sell advertisement. Um, if you look on certain websites, player count websites, more people are going to stay on the game if they keep dying and they keep. I know what people are going to say. Well, that doesn't make sense because if I keep dying, I'm just going to quit and go play something else. But the fact is, most people are going to boot back and load back into the next game, especially if you're a streamer. Like um, some streamers say, hey, I'm going to just get a couple kills real quick or something like that, and then play another game or log off. Now, the object of the game or the business is to keep you on the game as long as they can, and by doing that, they're gonna try and kill you so you go back in there. Especially when you paid $10, $12, $15 for a battle pass, people are gonna want to finish that battle pass, and the longer they keep you on the game, or the more they keep killing you with AI, the longer you're gonna take to finish that battle pass. Back in the day with Fortnite, maybe even Call of Duty, you could literally grind XP within like a day and probably get most of the battle pass finished. Like I said, the companies have caught on that to sell advertising time, that they have to keep you on the game. Obviously, you're not gonna advertise on a game that nobody is on. People only play for 5 or 10 minutes. So like I said, they try and keep you on the game as long as possible. With again, I know that kind of went off topic, but they can add AI, just don't make it insanely difficult that they just spawn in and kill you, like in Warzone, Fortnite, and multiplayer, and some other games and stuff like that. They can kind of balance it out. Or well, the thing that this game does good too is there isn't a lot of players. You're only getting like 5 players in your lobby. The rest are the the aliens or lizards that you have to kill, um, which I think is great. Again, it gives that Fortnite look to it. It's a simple game. It's pretty fun. But again, it's just the whole purpose of this, like I mentioned, is to show people that player versus enemy isn't your worst nightmare. I know you zombie YouTubers are overly dramatic. You know, they have to kind of be over dramatic in their videos to kind of, you know, get their point across or make it seem like, you know, the world's ending or whatever. So really quick, I'm going to talk about some gameplay. You can see that red cup or chalice or goblet, whatever. That means that it's kind of like in Warzone where the best player, it starts showing you them on the map. So this guy raided the main tube or vault and has all the best loot. So it puts a target on your back, and the object is everybody's supposed to rush over to him and just try and eliminate him and steal the loot. So you're basically trying to steal loot from each other. Now, it's risk versus reward. You can risk trying to kill him, and then maybe you'll get it, maybe you will kill him, and then the unfortunate thing is that now you're the target and more people are going to come after you. But it's been pretty good. I mean, it is the early stages of the game. Kind of you think about Fortnite. Years ago, Fortnite was like this, where there wasn't really too many people around. You could walk around, you won't find anyone. Um, Now in Call of Duty, I mean in Fortnite now, it's kind of super sweaty and stuff like that. But this reminds me, and that's why Fortnite OG was so popular, is the fact that it was kind of like this. It was open, wide open. No, well, not really wide open, but you don't get too many enemies. You don't come across too many enemies. Because if you go back and you play Fortnite OG, or you look at some old gameplay, or you think back, um, you were able to walk around and you didn't come across too many people. Now that's why people kind of left Fortnite, is they got super sweaty. People are always on you. There's like 10 people dropping at one location. Um, but again, this is just to show an idea of what they can do. They don't have to make it super sweaty. They don't have to give you a million zombies. You don't have to have a lobby of 100 people in there trying to kill each other. If you just put like 5 other players in there, maybe even 4 other players, 6 other players, something around there, and you can either just choose to, you know, confront each other and try and steal each other, and then you lose your stuff. The other thing that's great too is you don't actually exfil with the weapons. So that could be another incentive, because I know people don't want to lose their weapons and stuff like that. You could just have it where everybody loads in without any weapons, and then you kind of have to search your weapons every single game. I know people aren't going to like that. So I guess they're going to have to put weapons in the Call of Duty version or the Warzone version of it. If anything, maybe Fortnite should start looking into a game mode like this. I think would be a great idea. Just to have like an additional little mode, because Battle Royale gets a little bit, um, you know, Battle Royale gets a little bit stale after a while. So maybe they can kind of start looking at ideas of like you load in like this. But I know that's going to cause some issues, kind of like what happened with PUBG and Fortnite back in the day. I think if they kind of make it too similar, then you know they're going to probably uh, have some issues together. Unless they do a collab together, then I don't think it'll be that much of a problem. And then again, Fortnite's been around first. So anyways, you drop your loot in here, it holds it, but you still have to exfil. It just takes it out of your pocket, so it doesn't guarantee it for you. It's just basically like a locker. I'm going to say the word is probably like a locker. You drop it in your locker, and then you can go loot some more. You can go back to your locker and drop it in. but you have to exfil to get what's in your locker, or holding area, I'm gonna call it. Again, this is another AI. This isn't a real person. So you're still getting that aspect of killing other, or feeling of killing other players, but it's actually AI. But again, back to the locker system that they have. It holds your loot that you found, your treasure, but you still have to exfil. I made the mistake of not exfilling, and then the timer. There's no gas. That's the other thing too. There's no gas. It's just the timer that you need to exfil. If you don't exfil, you instantly die. I think what happens when the person opens the vault and they steal the loot and treasure, then the timer goes down. You have like 5 minutes to kill them. If you don't, then the game ends. The game instantly ends, or it starts a 5 minute countdown, I believe, once that vault has been opened. Because the object of the game is for you to open the vault and have the best loot and steal it. Now they don't want to. I guess their idea is, why keep going if all the best loot's already been taken out of the game. Anyways, if you have any more questions, let me know. I'll see you guys later.